happiness, loss, suffering, and hope. Those are the only 4 stages that you can be at life. And this concept is taken from the Wheel of Life, which is an old concept taken from the Middle Ages. And if you don't learn about these stages and understand them and master them, then you'll have a very, very hard time moving on from a crisis or a negative state. So listen up.
I think we all have to go into and just trust to it.
So let me tell you a story about how I was going through the Wheel of Life, right? You know, before I tried to apply in university into my dream program, I was happy. I was, making short films here and there, showing them to my friends, showing them to school when I was still in college or high school, and I was getting a lot of praise for it. People were saying, wow, you're gonna be so good, you're gonna be Hollywood level talent, you're gonna be so amazing, you should be a film director, and telling me how I was good when I was in high school and college, right? And I was happy, and I was proud, and I was doing things that I loved, and I was fulfilled, right? And then came the time to apply to film school, right? And then I applied and I got rejected, long story short. And that was absolutely painful to me. It was like, and I was very angry. And I was like, why did they reject me? And I settled for the shitty program, and that I thought like, you know what, next semester I'm gonna reapply again. And I reapplied again, got rejected once again. And now I reached a point where I was no longer happy. I was at a loss. I thought, fuck, man, I lost, and I thought like this is, then came into suffering really when I realized that, fuck, man, I'm never gonna get into that program. It's too late now. And I didn't even try to apply again because I thought, you know what, no point to it. And I was just, that then came the point of suffering when I really lost all hope. I thought like, this is when I reached my quarter life crisis, and I thought, you know what, like, this is not life. This is not what I want to do. And I don't want to go to school and go to a stupid job and spend my whole life doing this shit and, going to a boring job or a boring thing I don't want to do. And I thought this was bullshit. And I hit the rock bottom here. But as soon as I hit rock bottom, I had this idea. I had this idea in the background of doing Nameless. So then came this idea of Nameless. Nameless was an idea that I had like going into college, and I thought, you know what if I expand on that, right? What if I turn this into something big? And then I had hope. I had hope that, the dreams that I had before of becoming a creative, becoming someone famous, whatever, like all these dreams, they became something else. And now I could achieve new dreams. So I had hope. This was the point of hope. And then I just continued on that route. And at the beginning, Nameless was very small, like less than 1,000 subscribers. And I was making videos every month or so, like those artsy videos, POV videos. And it was hard. But I had hope. I had hope that if I continued on just a little longer, that I would get to success, that I would get to a point where I'm happy, right? And now I can say that I've built a fan base. I've built a fan base of true fans, of subscribers that really enjoy my content. And I'm having an impact on the world, even if it's a small impact in a few people's lives, that I'm having an impact, even one-on-one with clients that I'm coaching. So now I've reached a point where I'm happier. So this is what the Wheel of Life is. And let me explain each of these steps. And by learning any of these steps, you're gonna really benefit in your life. So the number 1 state is happiness, right? Basically, happiness, the first state is your desired situation, right? It's basically where you wanna be at, right? It's basically where you aspire to be at. Life is going your way, things are the way you want them to be, and maybe you've achieved the success you always wanted. Maybe it's a small amount of success, but it's enough so that you're happy, that you feel fulfilled, that you feel accomplished. Maybe it's the present state. You're just comfortable, you're okay, you're fine, you enjoy the present moment. There's nothing really else that you really need to add on top of that, which is, this is what I like to say that I feel like most of the time, right now at least. But those are just stages in life, and you will go through different stages. But this is the first stage, happy. The second stage is loss. And loss, how it's like, is basically you realize that the routine that was working for you in the happiness stage is not working right now. There's something that has fallen apart. Maybe it's a routine, maybe it's your job that you lost, maybe you lost something, right? It says the word lost, like you lost something. And usually what tends to happen when you reach the lost stage is that you want to cling back to the happiness stage, right? But one rule about the wheel of life is that it only goes one way. It only goes clockwise. It only goes in one direction. And from loss, you cannot go back to happiness because you've lost what you wanted. You've lost the thing that you had, right? Me, who has lost my dream of going into the film program, I had to look at different alternatives, right? I tried different alternatives. I tried submitting my film to film festivals. I got rejected as well from film festivals. I thought, how the heck do I suck so bad, right? And these dreams were shattered. And so I had to keep on moving to the next stage. The third stage is suffering. Suffering is the bottom of the barrel. Is when you hit rock bottom, you feel like shit. You feel like, there's no hope. You feel hopeless. You feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And, this stage, might last a longer time. The last stage is, you've lost and you try to cling back to happiness. As you try to cling, it's no longer working. Then you reach the suffering stage. And this can last however long, can last for weeks, months, years even, right? Till you find that hope. But if you try to cling on to the thing you've lost, you'll never overcome your suffering. That's an interesting thing about the wheel of life, that you have to go with the flow. You have to keep on moving with the flow. And this is the point of life in suffering. This is the point when you reassess your life, really. You sit back and you look at, what can I do now with my life? Let's say you've lost a significant partner, you've broken up with your girlfriend, and you're feeling like, well, I'm gonna be alone forever, or I don't know, like I'm never gonna find a partner like that ever again. And then you feel hopeless. And then you try to ask yourself, well, what can I do moving forward? What's the next chapter of my life? You're gonna ask yourself that, and you gotta do it. This is the point in your life when you have to look at your life and reassess, okay, what have I done wrong? What led me to that point? And what can I do to get to the next stage? You can't just sit through your suffering and do absolutely nothing about it. Yes, you want to dive into your suffering. You want to dive into the pain. You want to dive into that negativity, and which is fine. You're right. You have to welcome that. You have to dive into it, but then you want to look forward into the next stage, which is hope. Maybe this is even the stage now where you are, you're at a crossroads. You're having difficulty, and now at the suffering stage, maybe you set up a plan and you start taking action, which is, in my opinion, the only way to get out of it is you start taking action. You start moving towards, you start putting your plan of action into action, right? And this is, you might not be getting results right now because it's hard. Maybe you're in that pain period of starting that business, and for a whole year you get nothing, right? No fucking clients, but you keep on going. And you might get to the next stage, which is the hope stage. And the hope stage is when your new plan starts to kind of work, right? For me, the hope stage of Nameless is when I started getting a few subscribers. I started getting my first paycheck from Google that actually paid me for my ad revenue, which wasn't much at the time. It was maybe like $150, but it was the best $150 I ever got in my entire life. It was absolutely life-changing. This is what you can aspire to, right? You set a plan of action, you start taking action, and you start getting some results. Maybe it's not even the results that give you hope. Maybe it's just a renewed sense of purpose in your life. Maybe now your life is shit. Maybe you're alone. You no longer have your girlfriend that you used to have. I don't know what. Or you lost, you lost your job or whatever. But now you have hope. You just have a renewed sense of purpose of what? Yes, that was shit. That past relationship was not good. That was toxic boyfriend was not good. But now at least I have a new perspective. Now I can be more with myself. I have more freedom, right? Now you have this hope. What you have to understand is life comes in stages. Life comes in different stages, different places, and there's no such way as permanent happiness, and there's no such thing as permanent sadness. Things always come up and down, always a cycle of life that always comes and goes, and you cannot cling on to a specific stage. You have to go with the flow. That's basically what it is. When you feel happiness, rejoice, because, enjoy it while it lasts, because that happiness is not gonna last forever. And when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling at the bottom of the fucking pit, be fine with it. Rejoice. Be happy with it, because this too shall pass. And if you need help because you're feeling hopeless right now and you feel like you don't know where to go with your life, you can book a free consultation call with me, link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, then you're gonna love this next video about the signs that you're destined to fail at life. You don't want to miss this, so I'll see you there. You reject any idea or worldview that contradicts your current worldview. Now, what is a worldview? A worldview is your way of seeing the world. Maybe it's, it's just your paradigm, the way that you